Let's talk about the second season of the Green Lantern series in my DC Cinematic Universe. The last season ended with the stinger that the Red Lanterns had been born, and the first episode of this season is basically a parallel to the first episode of the first season, only in this case, we get the key Red Lantern members' origins for the whole episode. Zilius Zax, Scorch, Bleeze, Razor, Atrocitus, and Dex Star. And the most important origins in this episode are those of Atrocitus and his right hand, Bleeze. We find out that Atrocitus's home planet was completely destroyed by members of the Sinestro Corps. Everyone on the planet was killed, only he survived. And it was that boiling rage he felt over his planet's complete genocide that awoke the red energy within him and granted him a Red Lantern ring. And then with Princess Bleeze, she was the crown princess of the Thanagarian Empire. Some Sinestro Corps members attacked Thanagar, killed thousands, killed her parents in front of her, and then attacked her and did horrible things to her, and ended it all by plucking her wings. And just like Atrocitus, this filled her with such violent rage that she transformed into a Red Lantern. Because the first season took out half of the Corps that defected with Sinestro to become the Sinestro Corps, and then more of the Green Lanterns during the war with said Sinestro Corps, the Green Lanterns' ranks and reach were absolutely decimated, so their intergalactic peacekeeping efforts have been severely handicapped. And so the Thanagarian Empire steps in to fill this void. The Thanagarians are keen on working with the Green Lanterns to reestablish peace within the collected solar systems. And as such, the Thanagarians appoint a liaison with the Green Lantern Corps, someone to work with them directly the entire time. And that person is none other than Captain Hro Tal. Hro is partnered up with John Stewart, and the two of them patrol together throughout this season. The goal for this season is the Red Lanterns are getting revenge on any surviving Sinestro Corps members. So the Green Lanterns are attempting to stop these guys who they can't trace or beat in a fight because the Green Lanterns are all using duplicate power rings, whereas Red Lanterns are using pure, actual energy manifested rings. And to make matters worse, Bleeze, who is the crown princess of the Thanagarian Empire, has defected. She's left her planet for personal revenge, because the Red Lantern ring, when you put it on, makes you way angrier than you already were. They all have just murderous tunnel vision. And with Bleeze not in the picture, General Hro Tal of Thanagar becomes the de facto leader of Thanagar, and that man's ambitions are not great. You see, the Thanagarian Empire used to be conquerors before the Green Lanterns beat them into submission, and Hro Tal wants that power again, and he sees a power vacuum just waiting to be grabbed. The Lanterns are weaker than they've ever been. There were dissenters amongst their ranks. Public opinion of the Green Lanterns is very low, and the Sinestro Corps killed a lot, trillions of people. So there was very little resistance. So Hro Tal took that opportunity. And partway through this season, we get the villainous turn of the Thanagarians, and they become the central antagonists of the season. And then what the season becomes is we have to get Hro Tal to go convince her best friend, her previous best friend, Bleeze, to return, to join them, return to Thanagar, get Hro Tal out of there, and end this new war before it can begin. We get a lot of awesome violence from Atrocitus as he just ruins old Sinestro Corps members, and we get an absolutely blood fury pit of rage from him when he finds out that Sinestro himself is still alive and in Indigo prison. So while Hro Tal and John Stewart are with Bleeze trying to take down the Thanagarian Empire, Hal Jordan and Kyle Rayner are trying to stop Atrocitus from killing Sinestro. And luckily, he does. Atrocitus miraculously manages to calm down after he learns that the indigo ring that Sinestro is being forced to wear makes Sinestro feel the compassion that he should have felt that whole time. It makes Sinestro feel remorse and guilt. It has a sort of empathic power. So when Atrocitus is near Sinestro, Sinestro feels all of the grief that Atrocitus's ring is suppressing. Atrocitus looks at the man responsible for powering the people that killed his entire race, but he sees a man who genuinely feels guilty and sorry and remorseful for the things that he did. Atrocitus asks Hro, the head of the Indigo tribe, Indigo 1, if Sinestro's remorse and pain that he feels now will always be with him. And Hro confirms, yes, that is the power of the compassion ring. Sinestro will feel just as sad as Atrocitus does about this forever. Sinestro's emotions are tied to the victims that he hurt because of that ring. And because of that, Atrocitus lets Sinestro live. He thinks that is a far better punishment than what he would have done to Sinestro. And back out at Thanagard with Shayera Hall, Jon Stewart, and Princess Bleeze, they're fighting off Hro Tal, and we get, that villainous twist. Hro Tal was always evil. Hro Tal was the one who let the Sinestro Corps through to the princess because he was hoping they were going to kill the princess immediately. He was hoping that was going to get done, and then he'd just be the leader of Thanagar. No contest. This information comes to light after Princess Bleeze horribly tortures and then murders the men that did the horrible things to her. And so now, with the Red Lantern's rage sort of sated and the Thanagarians defeated, that would be the culmination of this season. And Princess Bleeze and the Red Lanterns would then call Thanagar their home. The Thanagarian Empire would ally themselves with the Green Lantern Corps to bring more peace in space about. And that's season 2.